Our story starts off 14 years after Emergence Day. Former COG Sergeant Marcus Fenix is sitting in his cell in Jacinto Maximum Security Prison. The peephole to the cell slides open with a metallic clank, causing the wretches to scatter. The peeking Dom ensures that he has the correct cell before telling Jack, the awesome non-human Delta Squad member, to rip Marcus's cell door open. Dom walks in carrying a bag. Marcus, in the darkness, asks what he's doing here. Is that any way to greet somebody who's essentially your brother? You dick. Dom tosses Marcus the duffel bag, saying, "Put this on, you'll need it." Marcus is concerned that Dom will get into trouble for doing this. Dom says that Colonel Hoffman pardoned everybody due to the war needing all the people they can get.
Welcome back to the Army, soldier.
Shit.
Dom is in contact with Raven 6-4 and King Raven, their helicopter eye in the sky and only way off the prison island, telling them that they are en route and ready for dust-off. Raven 6-4 commences a bombing run that sends chunks of concrete and broken glass onto our heroes. This acts as an intro to the health system of the game. Upon exiting this area and kicking a door open, we come across our first two on the kill count, but you didn't think it was going to happen that soon. Half the man he used to be. While making their way to King Raven for their extraction, Marcus and Dom are attacked by Locust drone. After fighting their way through the prison, they make it to the courtyard, and King Raven is about to touch down when the pilot informs the pair that there is a massive movement underground at their current location. Marcus and Dom book it to their extraction chopper as the ground begins to crack and break beneath them, only for the first introduction of the Locust Corpser. The two on board fly off while unloading every gun at their disposal into the giant Corpser's face. Aboard the chopper, Marcus gets handed a trusty chainsaw lancer as a welcome present to Delta Squad by the temporary leader, Lieutenant Kim. You'll see why I call him the temp leader later on. Marcus asks Kim where they're going. Lieutenant Kim says that they're flying to Embry Square to talk to Colonel Hoffman.
Hoffman. Oh, shit.
This is gonna be awesome.
Marcus is disappointed to hear it's Hoffman because the Colonel is the one who locked Marcus up in the prison in the first place for disobeying orders. Rookie Private Anthony Carmine asks Marcus if he is the same Marcus that fought the Battle of Asfo Fields. Marcus just says, yep, only for Carmine to say that's cool. Marcus grunts to himself.
Not really.
The Raven lands, and before Marcus even puts a foot on the ground, you could tell by the look the two give each other that there's a lot of anger and resentment between Hoffman and Marcus. Marcus exits the Raven and comes face to face with Colonel Hoffman. Hoffman pushes Marcus, calling him a traitor who don't deserve to wear the COG uniform. Hoffman takes Kim aside and tells him that they have a plan to end the war, only for Dom to say,
"Yeah, right."
Anya warns that there is enemy movement close by and gives Marcus a smile. For number 3 on our kill count, a COG soldier gets sniped by a Locust drone that wanted to reach out and touch somebody. Delta runs for cover, but the sniper reaches out and touches yet another COG soldier, making him number 4 on the count. It's almost like wearing a helmet is like wearing a red shirt from Star Trek. Hoffman tells Kim that Delta's mission is to find the resonator that was with Alpha Squad, who they lost contact with. It's meant to be used as targeting data for a light mass bomb that will hit the Locust Hive and wipe them all out all at once. Delta's mission is to find Alpha Squad and deploy the resonator at all costs. Kim asks if Delta Squad will have air support, and Hoffman says his iconic line,
"What? Are you kidding? You are the support, son!"
Marcus and Dom clean out the Locust horde while Hoffman and Kim finish their conversation, and Delta reassembles and they're out to find Alpha Squad. After a short stretch, Delta Squad finds 4 dead members of what is assumed to be Alpha Squad. Kim remarks that there is no resonator, and Marcus says that their COG tags are gone, meaning that they're still survivors. Kim tells Delta their next location to check is the House of Sovereigns. After fighting their way to and regrouping at the stairs outside of the House of Sovereign, Delta discusses their plan once inside. Private Carmine complains that his Lancer keeps jamming, and when he stands up to show Lieutenant Kim, he becomes number 9 on our kill count, getting taken out by the COG helmet kryptonite, a Locust sniper. After fighting off waves of incoming locusts, Delta gets into the House of Sovereign and finds Alpha Team member Private Augustus T. Cole, otherwise known as
Coltrane?
Kim asks Cole where the rest of Alpha Squad is located. Cole says that they're held up in a nearby tomb. Kim says that they're here to retrieve the resonator. Marcus quickly follows up and says, and to get you guys out of here. Cole says that Alpha Squad has been waiting for extraction, but their radios haven't been working.
It's the Cedars, they're jamming our transmissions.
They all leave the courtyard with the goal of destroying the Cedars and re-establishing radio comms with command. Delta kills the Cedars with the help of the Hammer of Dawn, advanced weapon that fires a laser from orbit. After partially restoring their comms, their Raven pilot informs them that they are running low on fuel. While this conversation is happening, we find number 10 on our kill count, Alpha member Rojas. We get into radio contact with Alpha member Baird, and Cole tells Baird that we are en route to his location. After rendezvousing with the remaining members of Alpha Squad, Baird catches up with Cole and attaches the resonator to Cole's back. As the Raven is making its way to the evac point, Marcus notices that it is quiet, a little too quiet. As the Raven is coming in, the Raven is unexpectedly shot down, narrowly missing Delta Squad as it crashes into the ground. There is a massive ambush of Locust drones, and the soldiers there know they're going to be quickly overwhelmed unless they do something. This is when we are introduced to the main bad guy of the game. In a cinematic slow-motion reveal, General Ram, the Locust commander, Ram approaches Kim, and when Kim turns around to see Ram, his Lancer is unfortunately out of ammo. And Kim attempts to use the Lancer's chainsaw bayonet, palms the chainsaw, and removes it from Kim's hands, tossing it aside like a toy, only to pick him up by the throat and make him number 11 on our kill count, death by stabbing. After Ram kills Kim, he tosses his body aside like a rag doll before setting his sights on Marcus and Dom. Dom pulls Marcus, telling him that they are here for the Alpha Squad members and the resonator, and to retreat into the tomb. Marcus informs Anya that Kim is dead, killed in action, and that they are barricaded in the tombs and need a way out. Baird and Marcus get into an argument, only for this argument to get interrupted by the screams of a berserker. This spooks the local red shirt in the crew to do a stupid thing and run right into being number 12 on our kill count via death by snoo-snoo, apparently. Nah, he didn't get no snoo-snoo, but his ass is definitely dead. Dom and Marcus lure the hulking berserker outside and use the Hammer of Dawn to light up her world and melt her big ass into the ground. Marcus radios Hoffman to give a situation update. Hoffman wants them to head to the emulsion facilities to the west of their current position to deploy the newly acquired resonator. Oh, and Marcus is given an impromptu promotion, restoring his rank of sergeant and putting him in charge of Delta Squad. This, of course, pisses off Baird.
Don't give the smart guy a promotion. No, give it to a jackass.
Cole asks if they're gonna walk the resonator to the factory. Dom interrupts and says he has a plan. Dom's plan is to go to a nearby stranded settlement and to talk to Franklin, who owes him a favor. Dom wants Franklin's vehicle to make it easier to get to their destination. Franklin agrees, but only if Baird and Cole stay behind due to upcoming Nightfall. And Nightfall brings a whole new enemy to the game. And a very bitchy Baird.
How's it going, Baird?
Oh, it's bullshit. Somebody here figured out the Coldplay thrash ball. Now it's all, oh, Coltrane, tell us all about that play again. And, hey, number 83, sign my shirt.
These two poor bastards at checkpoint 1 are number 13 and 14 when their crappily hung lights breaks and they get ripped up by the krill swarm. Little vicious nocturnal bastards. I sure hope that the final boss fight with that big-ass General Ram guy doesn't have a bunch of these flying little blenders circling around him and acting as a shield for some reason. I'm sure that won't happen.
Sarcasm?
Yes.
With the help of a drunk straggler at checkpoint 2, Marcus and Dom make it to Franklin's vehicle, only to be attacked by drones as the three make their escape, and the gas station is left burning Marcus, Dom, and drunk checkpoint guy make it back to Baird and Cole, who are at the main encampment and it's being attacked by Locust. Delta, now reunited, cleans out Locust and leaves all in all in the newly acquired vehicle. Baird seems to turn on the radio only to piss off Marcus.
There, turn that shit off.
Hey, it seems to have worked. While en route to the target, the junker breaks down. I guess that's why they call it the junker. And Delta Squad is forced to hoof it for the rest of the way. As the thunderstorm starts to settle in, Delta notifies Anya and Control about glowing wretches that they've seen in the forest. Anya says that rampant wretches are volatile and that Delta should use caution around them. Volatile means they explode. Delta finds the factory, and what do you know, the front door's locked. They need to split up to find an alternate route in. Cole says it's likely a bad idea.
I'll be sure to take that under advisement, Cole. Now move it.
Dom and Marcus find a lift to the second floor. Dom voices his concerns about fighting the Locust underground in the dark. Marcus makes a joke and says not to say it around Baird because he's already scared.
Yeah, could be bad. But hey, don't tell Baird that. He's scared shitless as it is.
The two find an entrance into the factory through a broken window on the second floor. Marcus radios Baird to update them, and as always, Baird is a smartass.
Baird, Cole, we're in.
What took you so long? We've been here for at least 2 minutes.
Well, good for you, smartass. Give us your location.
The basement. And it's a dump.
And to be honest, I think that's why he's my favorite character. Anyway, Marcus says not to waste time regrouping and to find a way to power up the factory so they can get down into the mines. Marcus kicks open the control room door, and I count the parts and pieces of 9 factory workers being eaten by lampant wretches, bringing our total kill count up to 23. Marcus and Dom open a door, and a surviving factory worker fires a shotgun shell at Marcus. The worker drops his gun, seeing his mistake, and says that he's happy that rescue has finally arrived. Picking up his bag and saying that he's ready to go, Marcus stops him and asks how to get into the cart control room for the mines. The worker, who is only referred to as dipshit, is confused and says that it's behind a locked door. Marcus tells him that they're going to need his help to unlock it.
Dipshit.
It's kind of weird how, Jack almost doesn't exist anymore. Survivor Dipshit reluctantly agrees. Delta 2, Baird and Cole, update Marcus by revealing that they are in the factory sewers.
There's shit everywhere!
We get to see Delta 2 down in the sewers and have a bit of a reaction from Baird.
There's room for one more. It's a party down here.
This is when I first noticed that either I marked to censor the language or that it was on by default, because I remember the original voice line saying this.
There's room for one more. It's a fucking party down here.
No thanks.
They censored the word fucking and edited it out, or went right over it. It just sucks all the funny out of the iconic line that Baird says. It always made me chuckle, and I'm sitting here playing this game, and it kind of made me wonder, is this a Mandela moment? Did I imagine that he said that line differently? Or did the coalition actually edit? And like I said, it just sucks all the funny out of that line. Anyway, Dipshit takes Dom and Marcus through a shortcut with flimsy boards acting as a floor. Dipshit takes a wrong step and becomes number 24 on the count due to death by lampant wretches. Dom and Marcus continue on cautiously and reunite with Cole and Baird. After activating the carts, Delta heads down into the mines. Everything goes to plan. Mostly. Delta heads to the drilling platform in the core room, and it's at this point that I kind of noticed that the game is continually moving the goalpost. It's adding things and steps to draw out the playtime. I usually call this padding the runtime. I hate it in movies, I hate it in TV shows, and I hate it even more in video games. To my horror, I also remembered that this is only the halfway point of the game. I chainsaw lancer myself in the head, but
Oh my god!
Delta reaches the mines via a screw platform, and we even get to have a little bit of fun going down a water slide.
This is room for one more. It's a party down here.
Delta 2, Baird and Cole, who are at the main encampment and it's being attacked by Locust. We get to see Delta 2 down in the sewers and have a bit of a reaction from Baird.
There's room for one more. It's a party down here.
Delta gets split up again, and it just now comes to mind that with the amount of times that Cole and Baird get split off from Dom and Marcus, there could have been a DLC that could have showed their side of this adventure. I don't know the way these maps are built. It just kind of seems like it wouldn't be that big of a deal to play as these other characters and just build the maps out a little bit more and show their side of the story. I always thought that would be pretty cool. Anyway, we find this conveniently wide open space next to a bunch of emulsion, almost like there's a boss fight about to happen. Oh shit. Marcus and Dom fight it out with a corpser, slowly pushing it closer and closer to the edge and making it fall into the molten emotion, just like the T-1000 from the end of Terminator 2. Unlike Robert Patrick, the glowing bitch pops back out, only for her to go right back into the hot glowing goop, only to suffer the same fate again. You know what sucks? Being dipped in molten sludge. You know what sucks even more? Being double dipped into that same molten sludge. Going deeper into the caverns, we meet the Theron guards for the first time, with this funny line from Dom.
Yeah, right. When's the last time the wind said hostiles to you?
We use a newly acquired torque bow to get some explosive dick shots. Afterwards, Marcus tells Baird to set up the resonator and to get the exit elevator back online. Baird arms the resonator and the Core 4 reach the surface before the sonic device rocks the hollows. Marcus radios control and tells Anya that the resonator was deployed and the mission was accomplished. She says that there's a Raven on the way to pick them up for extraction. Delta, the Core 4, the heroes of the game, happy that they finally did it, and they can relax because they pulled it off.
But wait! There's more!
Hoffman radios to tell Marcus that the resonator didn't work. We're shown that the sonic device didn't take into account height variations, and it kind of just doesn't go deep down into the hollows. The device didn't take into account terrain variation. We're also informed that more than half of the Locust hollows didn't get mapped. Hoffman says that they would need hundreds of resonators to map the tunnels. Well, it's a good thing that Baird, on his way out, snagged a geobot with the Locust tunnel data already on it. Hoffman finds out that the original data came from Marcus's father, and that the information would likely be stored in his lab. Hoffman orders Delta to the Fenix residence.
You think you can still find your way back home, Phoenix?
Yes, sir.
We're shown down in the hollows that Ram has captured a COG soldier and listening to this whole conversation through the COG's helmet. With the main villain of the game now knowing their next move, we add another red shirt to the count. This makes number 25, death via Ram liking twist tops. While aboard the Raven, heading to Marcus's childhood home, a second Raven, following and providing support, gets blown out of the sky by the Nemesis, which are Locust mortars. The Raven, carrying all the plot armor, lands and drops off the Core 4 at a nearby courtyard. Anya informs Marcus that there are survivors at the crash site of the other Raven, and Marcus makes that a priority. Delta arrives at the Raven crash site to find looters attempting to steal the equipment and gear from the surviving soldiers. Dom scares them off by threatening to shoot them. Baird and Cole stay behind with the wounded to wait for evac, and Marcus and Dom continue on. I didn't add a kill graphic here because it was never confirmed who was actually ever aboard and if anybody even died in the crash. Later, Delta fully reunites at the courtyard steps outside of the Fenix residence. They come up with a plan. Cole and Baird are to go around going to secure their exit by getting the APC up and working while Marcus and Dom enter the house. After fighting your way into the house and entering the catacombs, the duo find a secret lab behind a bookcase. At the same time, Baird and Cole say that the APC is up and working, and that they're going to enter the house and meet up with Marcus and Dom. Marcus has Jack rip through the locked door leading into the lab. Once inside, Jack is ordered to jack into the computer. Jacks into the computer. I'm not the only one that thinks that sounds wrong, right? Anyway, Jack finds out that the entire planet is covered in a honeycomb of tunnels, and Anya wants all that data but can't rip it because of the network issues that she's having. So Jack is told to stay behind and manually download all the data. Baird radios in and says that him and Cole are pinned down in the front of the house and need some help. Marcus and Dom leave Jack to finish his work and go help Delta 2. Delta fully reunites and Jack gets all the data. Everybody loads up into the APC just as a Brumac begins to give chase. Delta tells Command that they got all the data, and Anya tells them that the light mass bomb is located on a train and is headed to one of the major tunnel networks. Delta is told to rendezvous at the Timcad station. They come to a stuck drawbridge blocking their path and preventing their progression. Anya tells Delta that there's down power lines. Baird says that this looks intentional, like it was a trap or some way to stop them. Anya radios Marcus and tells him that the train has to increase its speed to avoid capture. Their time to reach the rendezvous point is getting a lot shorter. Just then, the Brumac from earlier finds Delta. Marcus instructs Cole and Baird to keep it away from the power lines. Cole insults the Brumac and gets it to chase him and Baird. Marcus just shakes his head because the problem children are at it again. Thinking that they shook off the Brumac, Baird and Cole try to catch up to Marcus and Dom, only to see that the Brumac is still there and the two run away, again luring the Brumac, albeit this time not on purpose. Marcus and Dom go outside and somehow end up rendezvousing with Baird and Cole. The Brumac is nearby and still hunting them. As they hide from the Brumac, Anya informs them that the power lines being fixed won't matter because the power plant itself is offline. So Delta heads to the power station to get it back up and going. To power everything on, but there's a problem, like always. The problem is that there's two transformers that need to be connected. Seeing a way to kill two birds with one stone, Marcus and Dom lure the hunting Brumac into the transformers, killing the Brumac and restoring enough power to make the drawbridge lower. Anya informs them that they have lost control of the train carrying the light mass bomb, and that Delta will need to intercept a rapidly moving train. And for the final time of the game, Delta is split up again. Marcus and Dom get aboard the moving train, and Baird and Cole are left behind due to them being held up by a Locust firing squad. Baird and Cole notify Marcus that they can catch a Raven with Hoffman and will catch up with them shortly. That's just lazy writing. Marcus and Dom shoot their way through the train. Somehow, as if by magic, a Berserker is now on board. We sure as hell don't have a Hammer of Dawn, so Marcus lures the Berserker onto a different train platform and disconnects that car from the rest of the train. Marcus and Dom make it to the train car with the light mass bomb. Somehow, General Ram is here, and he's somehow covered in the krill, flying all around him, even though it's daytime. Strange how that works. Somehow, Baird and Cole got Hoffman to pick them up in a Raven, and almost by some miracle, they've caught up. Honestly, if we could have gotten picked up and dropped off via a Raven, wouldn't that have saved like the entire previous chapter from happening? It's like the Lord of the Rings big ass eagle plot hole all over again. Only this time, it's a Raven. Cole uses the mounted lights to disperse the krill that are all around Ram and expose him to Marcus and Dom, who get really religious on him. They made him holy. Get it? After dispersing with an awkwardly easy final boss, Dom hops aboard the Raven with Hoffman, and Marcus goes to arm the light mass bomb with Jack's targeting data. Only for Marcus to notice that the bridge is out.
The bridge is out!
Yo, get to the chopper. Okay, obviously Arnold does it better. Marcus jumps at the last minute, grabbing Dom's hand, and the train crashes with the light mass bomb into the emulsion below. The torpedoes deploy and absolutely vaporize everything that they come into contact with. Marcus, having earned Hoffman's respect, is given a helping hand as Dom and Hoffman both pull Marcus into the Raven as it flies off into the sunset. And we're shown the Locust Queen, Mira, for the first time. And I always thought it was kind of weird that she looked human, but she's the Locust Queen, and it's never explained, like ever. It really pisses me off. Jacks into the computer. That just really sounds kind of wrong, doesn't it? I'm not the only one that think that. Damn, I can't even get a line out. I'm like fucking Joe Biden over here. Got a dip. Dip. Yo. What the fuck? Yo. Get to the chopper. So this is one of those games that I always play with my brother, and I always wanted to do a kill count on it, but it was like such a long game. It's so drawn out, and I damn sure ain't gonna count all the locusts dying. And counting is kind of a gimmick. This is more just having fun, recapping the game for the story, and just sharing my final thoughts on it. And like I said, I've been wanting to do it for a while, but with the trailer of Gears of War E-Day releasing, and I'm really excited about that, the time just felt right. So it's between now and the time that Gears of War E-Day releases, I'm going to try to do a kill count for every single Gears of War game. And yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the suffering that I have to do to achieve that. Even though it's not really suffering, I get to play through the whole series of games all over again, and write out a script and perform that script and post it for all you lovely people. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know down in the comments below, and make some suggestions. You know, I want to do kill counts that people are really interested in seeing, so just yeah, let me know. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys in this one. Take care, have a good weekend, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.